because Lord knows why I decided to do that. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you have accepted that you're weird, feel free to stay, and by staying make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the post notifications so that you're notified every single time I upload a video. I feel like you might be able to hear it outside. But this is like a long overdue video that I said I was going to do, which is basically my everyday makeup routine. And please make no comment about my hair. I have my hair appointment very soon. Okay, my hair appointment is next week. Funny story. I'll tell you the funny story. It's not so funny now, but I'll tell you the funny story when I'm doing my eyebrows. These suckers, they take me a while to do. So before we get it, I'm gonna start with my hair, and then I'll tell you the funny story about my hair. Or should I tell you the funny story while I am doing my hair? Probably should tell you the funny story when I'm doing my hair. It's not funny. I don't know why I keep saying it's funny. It's not funny. Like, I could have been today, right? Today is the 14th. I could have been getting my hair done today. The story goes, while I torture myself and combing my hair. The story goes, I messaged my hairstylist. I messaged the salon, and I was like, so, since a little birdie called Bori told me that the salon will be open on the 14th, can y'all make sure that I'm the first person that walks in through your doors? Because my salon, like the salon I go to, my stylist, they don't open Monday and Tuesday, they open Wednesday to Sunday. So I was like, could you make sure that I'm the first person that walks in? So they kindly, thoughtfully told me that so the booking service, because you can book online instead of calling in, obviously because they won't be at the office, or they won't be at the salon, so there's no point. But anyways, they're like, the booking in service will be live as of midnight. Okay, as of midnight on, when was this? Midnight 12th. No, it was not 12th, that's a lie. This was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what the date was. The point of the story is, I was like, okay, cool, I know what to do. I'm gonna stay up until midnight. As soon as midnight hits, I'm gonna be up and be booking my hair appointment for the 14th. What did I do? I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and you're gonna see my hair going everywhere on me right now because that's just what's going on. My hair's gonna be going everywhere because I'm just tired. My hair is just shedding. I'm shedding like a dog. So please refrain from making any comments. Yes, I know the growth. That's why you're not as zoomed in as much. Of which now I'm regretting it. I feel like you're too zoomed in, so I might zoom you out. I won't. It's okay, it's fine. So yes, this is the last time you see me with my unkempt hair. Well, it's a lie. But this is the last time you see my hair unrelaxed. Because next week, baby, my hair appointment is on the 21st. Expect a vlog. Because of course, that's a whole experience on its own. Because let me just tell you something. I've not had my hair relaxed in over 8 months. So I only had my hair relaxed once last year. And I usually have my hair relaxed 4 times in a year. The most I can push is 3 months. 3 times. So I get my hair relaxed every like 12 months. What the hell? 12 weeks. Every 3 months. 12 weeks. So yes, I'm being very gentle right now because usually I will be crying. Just so I can comb my hair. I'll be crying. So we are just gonna fast forward this part. I think I'm gonna fast forward this torture section because I can't. Or Jesus. Guys, it's a process, okay? We'll get to the makeup part real soon. We'll get it real soon. You can skip to that timestamp because I myself cannot deal with my hair, let alone you having to watch me torture myself doing this. It's not fun. It really ain't fun. I'll go in with some foam wrap or solid foam wrap lotion. It's just mousse basically, and I use this one as opposed to the typical olive oil stuff, because this stuff, it doesn't make your hair crunchy. Because olive oil, for some reason, unless if they change the formula, but like the last time I used olive oil, their formula makes your hair go crunchy, like real crunchy. So because me no like that, I want my hair to be crunchy, so I use this one. Like this is the one that they sell, that's the brand that they use in my thingy, my hairdresser's salon, so I just use this one. Yes, it looks a lot because it is a lot. So this is just for the front. I look very nice. Can you hear that? Listen. Wonderful noise. And then I'm just gonna take, like as you can see, this is nearly finished. Like look at this. Like I don't even know if you can see it. Like yeah, you can see that. It's nearly finished. So I need to, when I go to get my hair done, of course, best believe I'm buying more. Because baby. Not that I'm going to be needing to use as much as I'm using at the moment, but just for the sake of having it, I'm going to get it. Because I mostly use it for like setting my wigs, but if I'm doing an updo, it just kind of helps. Because I don't use Eco Styler gel, because that ish makes me get hella dandruff. Like a stupid amount of dandruff. I know it looks like I put a lot. It's because I did. It's because I did. So what we're gonna do now, the fun part, I'm gonna take this brush and just smoothen down all of this. Because of the fact that, like, the reason why I put loads of mousse, right? Number one, most of the mousse is going to my roots. And because my roots at the moment are natural, and my hair likes to literally suck up anything I put into it at this moment, so to make sure it's as smooth as I need it to be, I basically need to try and extend, get my hair to be wet as possible. Alright, so now that I brush my hair, I'm just gonna try and get my ponytail in the right place. I think that's okay. Ooh. Okay, so that is that. And just when you thought I'd put enough mousse, yeah, thought I put enough mousse. My face is having another wash with this mousse right now. Like literally having another. Just need some for the back of my hair. Like my mousse is actually finished. I'm just gonna get a silk head wrap, a silk scarf. Please do not mind the fact that this one has stains or foundation on it. Disregard that. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is not for you to be scrutinizing me. It's for you to watch me catfish. That is the point of this video. So you can watch me catfish. That's what you came for. So reserve the judgment. Thank you very much. I don't like to make it too tight. Like it's tight enough, but I don't want to make it tight to the point of me losing circulation to my brain, because I love my brain too much. As stupid as my brain is, I actually love my brain. So that is that for the hair. Just dust some of the hair off me. It's squash. Okay, relax. It's squash. It's not wine. I'm not drinking at the moment until the end of this month. I miss drinking wine. I know. No one told me not to drink. I just chose not to drink for 1 month. Just, never mind. It's okay. Wrong video. So for my eyebrows, what I actually start with is setting powder, because my eyebrows get very oily. So I currently use Fenty, good old Fenty, and I use it in the shade Banana. So that's the one that I use at the moment. I took out quite an amount. So this amount is literally going to be enough for the rest of my face. I'm not going to need to use this. Just place her over there. So I'm just going to get into my eyebrows and stamp in that powder. This step is probably not necessary for most people, but for me it actually helps a lot because my eyebrows, they just have a mind of their own. While my eyebrows are doing their business, I'm just gonna put on my primer, and I'm using the soft matte primer from Fenty. We're just gonna put some primer on my shiny face, and my face ain't beaming already. And I'm just gonna go in with a brush. I used to like spread my primer with my fingers, but like, I don't know, there's just something about using a brush these days. I've been enjoying it. Henny. Oh my god, my forehead. I actually feel sorry for my kids. Like, if they inherit, out of all my facial features, right? Please, don't let them inherit. They can inherit my big eyes. They can inherit my nose. They can inherit my lips. They can also inherit my sense of humor. Even though that just means that potentially they might not have friends, but it's fine. I'll be the best friend! Babies, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? I'm talking to my eggs. Are you listening? I'm gonna go back to the powder. And then I'm going to take a different brush and I'm going to dip in, yeah, and I'm going to set my nose. This is the only part of my face that I set in terms of before I put my foundation on. I don't set on my forehead because I actually like the little shine that comes on my forehead. I don't like the shininess of my nose. Like, I never for the shiny nose, no. My forehead is different because it makes it look like it's highlighted, so it's fine. My skin type is basically oily T-zone and then combination dry perimeter. So I try and not use as much powder for even like my under eyes. I feel to an extent my under eyes are dry as well. So I just focus this powder having business of which now this is gonna make me sneeze because I just inhaled some of it, so that's great. We wanted that. For eyebrows, I use Cabral in the shade number 5. It has its own little brush. I use it sometimes I don't. That's just what happens. I'm gonna go in with the brush. I like the brush of this e.l.f. pencil. This is a brow pencil. I don't like the color of this brow pencil. We're gonna get into them brows. I'm not gonna talk much, so I'm gonna like fast forward this part and y'all can just like listen to music. Like, I don't, the typical thing with eyebrows that I do is obviously you do the line at the bottom, line at the top, and then start filling in between. There's nothing exciting about eyebrows, to be fair. Like, there's nothing. I hate doing eyebrows. I don't like it. I do not like doing eyebrows at all. So I'm not your point of reference for eyebrows. I don't like doing them. My eyebrows never look the same. You can look at all my pictures. You know how people can have their eyebrows looking the same in every single picture? Mine don't. They do not. We just go with what they decide to do that day. So I actually want to get like permanent eyebrow tattooing because I can't deal with it. You know, I'm over it. I'm not a fan of all things. I'm not a fan. I can do eyeshadow for days. I can do the base foundation. I enjoy that. Anyone that enjoys doing eyebrows, witchcraft. I'm claiming witchcraft. So this is what my eyebrows look like. This just took me 2 songs. I went through 2 songs just to do this. This Conceal and Define Concealer for MAC Revolution. Makeup Revolution, MAC Revolution, Makeup Revolution. And it's in the shade C13. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna use to clean up my eyebrows. Start at the tip of the brow where they do Bermuda Triangle here. Bermuda, I don't know, whatever, maybe this is not my first language. So start there so that I can try and maintain the shape that I created in terms of the slant. Whether or not that's going to be the case when I blend it out, who the hell knows? Because it never happens the way I want it to. And then I tend to raise my eyebrow because, well, I shouldn't really. I know I shouldn't, but I tend to raise it to just get a sharper look at the shape I want. I think that's fine. I used to be very fussy about my eyebrows to the point of I would wipe it off and redo them just because I wanted them to be very matchy. I don't care anymore. I actually don't care. Like, I don't care. This one is more arched than this one, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. This is my good side anyway, so I'm taking pictures. This is my good side, so I don't care. And then I'm just gonna blend this out. I'm gonna take this little brush that comes in the like makeup palette, like the Anastasia one. I never find any use for these apart from blending my concealer. Well, blending my concealer under my eyebrows, that's the only time I ever use them, to be fair. Other than that, for eyeshadow, they're shit. Like, it's so weird how the quality of Anastasia for eyeshadow is amazing, but their brush is absolute shit. But then again, they're not really a brush company, so never mind. That's pretty much it for that. I don't clean up the top. I only just try and focus on the shape of the bottom part of my eyebrow. And the top, when I'm applying foundation and stuff like that, it kind of just cleans itself out. I don't like that halo eyebrow, that floaty eyebrow look that people usually do. Or how people use the lightest, the stupidest lightest concealer under their eyebrow. I'm sorry, no. And I'm going to use my favorite eyeshadow primer, which is a priming base from Perfect Prime by B. Well, it's called Perfect Prime from Be Perfect Cosmetics, and it's this one. It's going to look a bit scary when I apply it, but it's okay. I feel like I'm high. Like, I haven't smoked in a while. I don't even know what I'm talking about saying YouTube. I'm going to get like blocked. Anyways. I don't know why. I mean, I'm so relaxed. It's ridiculous. So I'm sorry if this video is making you feel like you want to sleep, because I'm just really like chill at the moment, and I just put primer on my nose. I'm just really chill at the moment. Yeah. So maybe you can watch me for like bedtime and give me that watch time. Because if you fall asleep, the video can still play in the background and I can get my watch time, because I'm trying to have this channel monetized by the end of this year. Yeah, a little self promo there, shameless plug, but anyways, it's fine. Oh, got there. My spirits didn't want me to say that, but anyways, I said it anyways, and now I have myself. I'm just gonna go in with this brush. I mostly only just use this brush for this step. I have like designated brushes for blending out my primer, so this has the primer build up on it. They are due to be washed, so that's why it might look a bit dirty, a little bit musty, crusty, whatever word you want to use to describe my brush right now. It just has build up of the primer. in with the fluffy blender brush. I'm just gonna blend out the edges. I used to use like sticky based like formula primers. I mean, this does, it's grippy, it's not sticky, it's different. This primer from Fenty, it's sticky. This one is grippy. There's a difference. This one makes everything very, very stupidly difficult to blend out. Like, it don't matter how blendable the eyeshadow formula is, with that primer, I don't even use it. Like, I think I probably like used it maybe 5 times when I bought it, and then I discovered the beauty, which is Be Perfect, and I don't go back. And it doesn't even matter that I'm going to be doing, whether I'm doing a neutral look or I'm doing something colorful, I just always use that primer. Like, and also if you have problems with like creasing and stuff like that, this is the babes for you. I just like that now it's all blended, and I don't have to deal with none of that crazy brow highlighting that people do with the top of the eyebrow. Looks no. Like, if that's your thing, cool, but just know that, like, if I see you, there is some slight judgment going on from me. Like, if I see you with that eyebrow that's like, you've got like yellow when you have no undertones of yellow within your complexion, but you have like a very stupidly light concealer under your eyebrow, I'm judging you. I sound really bitchy today, but I promise I'm not. Usually I'm gonna do my routine the way I do it, but you could just as easily do the whole makeup look that I'm gonna do, the eyes anyway, with this one palette. If you need any eyeshadow palette, if you're a neutrals person, this palette, it's for you, because you can create so many looks with this. Like, so many. You can have a pink eye moment, you can have, well, not pink eye, because that's conjunctivitis, that's an eye infection. I don't mean that. I meant like pink eyeshadow moment. Anyway, so you can have a little orange if you want to, very neutral, a smoky eye if you want to. I feel like this palette does a good job in covering every skin tone shade. Like, it makes sure that, like, if you're like very fair skinned, a very fair toned skin, our Caucasian sisters, you're covered in this. If you have more of like an olive toned type of skin, then you also are covered in this. And then if you have like a melanin complexion, a deeper rich melanin complexion, you're also covered in this. Like, you can make any look you want from this palette. I'll leave the link for this down below. I kind of use 3 different palettes just because I have them and I can. So when I use that one plus these 2, so this one's Makeup Obsession, which is basically an extension brand of Makeup Revolution, and then I'm just going to use my ABH as well. So I'm gonna collab with Auntie Jackie. Well, I'm gonna try to even call her Auntie Jackie because she's not that old, to be fair, but I just call her Auntie Jackie for some reason. Well, it's not for some reason, I don't know why, but anyway. If your brushes haven't been cleaned, like mine have not been cleaned, get this for yourself. First shade is Ginger, which is this shade right here. That's the shade we're gonna go in with for which part of the eyeball I'll put in this one is the crease. I don't know why my brain just does that. It like just likes to shut down. Anyway, I'm just tapping the color in first, and then I'm gonna blend it out. Like, I usually do like 3 taps on my eye, and then I don't dip my brush back in. Like, that's usually enough. of what I need to just get my eyeshadow started, basically. Tap, 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 dip brush back in, tap the color on again, dip the brush in for the last time, tap, 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 and then start blending. I'm gonna go in the shade Credit, which is basically this brown right here, and we're gonna just start on the outer part. I kind of like swish my brush like 3 times in there, just tapping in here, and I'm just gonna start blending it out. And the thing is, if you want to get a very soft blown out blend, don't hold your brush over here. Okay, this is very dense and you don't have much control of the brush. It's like you're writing. Okay, if you're holding at the end or just about 3/4 way towards the end of the brush, you have more of a flexibility in your wrist and with the brush as well, and you can just blend it out. So I'm just gonna blend these out, and there you go. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go back to the first brush, and I'm not gonna pick up any product, I'm just gonna go over the edge where we put that deeper brown, so that it just blows that out a lot more. Yeah. For the inner part of my eye, obviously I have to use a different brush because that one is like way too big. So I'm using the Morphe M507. So this is the brush that I'm using, and it has like a tapered edge, like the bristles, so that's why I like it. And we're gonna dip into the same shade Ginger, and then we're gonna use that for the inner part, because if you use that bigger brush that we used, it's gonna get the color like all the way up over here, and then we're gonna start looking like we have panda eyes, or we're gonna look like a raccoon, which that's not what we're going for. Unless if that is what you're going for, then fine, but I'm not going for that. I'm gonna get back on here when this other eye is done. I pretty much just did the same thing we did this, the same thing we did to this eye. I've done it to this one, and then I'm just gonna go back in with the brush I used to blend in my base before, and I'm just gonna pretty much use that, the little amount that it absorbed when I was blending, to create a halo. So instead of applying more primer, to just make sure that this is more soft blown and not as cut creasy, and because this is everyday, so we're not out here trying to be like putting in work, like we're not trying to put in a lot of time into making a very defined dramatic eye. I'm just gonna go in with my finger and just blend the edge of where the primer went with the eyeshadow that's already on my eyes. Obviously this like halo is like pretty huge. I have big eyes, so I can afford to make it this huge. If you don't have eyes this big, adjust accordingly. Make an informed decision for yourself. So I'm gonna go onto my eyelid. I'm gonna go into the Clientele palette, the shade Sandy, which is right here. I'm just gonna literally just put Sandy all over the area that we just made that halo. And I'm gonna go in with a different brush. Go back into the shade Ginger, no, Credit, sorry. Go in with this, alright, to just bring back the smokiness into the eye, and then blend it into that. Then you're gonna go back to this one to blend out the harsh line that it might have made. And then, to be fair, that is not pretty bad. That is actually pretty good. Because sometimes, you see, that is pretty much it. So we're just gonna jump back into the shades Sandy and Credit from those two palettes and just be going back and forth. So in to that, to just bring that out a lot more, and then go in with the other brush. But yeah, this is what we're going for. So I'm just gonna finish off this eye, and then I'll do this other eye off camera and then come back on. Otherwise this video is gonna be stupid long. I basically fake a wing. So I could use the black from here, just black. I don't like it. I mean, it's okay. It has its place. I use the one from Black is the New Black from this palette by Makeup Obsession. This palette is £10, surprising enough that I love the black from a cheaper palette than the more expensive one. But anyway, so I'm just gonna go into my lash line and literally stamp, I don't know what I'm saying, but like literally just pat the black in as close to eyelash line, to your lash line as possible. And you're not blending it out, you're literally just making a line as if you're using if you're not good with like liquid liners, this is the best way to go, because liquid liners, I find that they're like frustrating sometimes. I prefer gel, but I don't really like using gel that much either. I'll use gel if I want to, but for everyday makeup look, I just try to stick to eyeshadows only. With this same brush, I'm gonna go into Too Much, and we're gonna do the same thing we were doing. We're gonna put the brown on top of the black, and the reason why I do that is that I like how it makes like a smoky brown liner as opposed to a black one. So that's basically, you can see the difference. So this is with the lash line done, and this is what it looks like without the lash line, with the top lash line done. So I'm gonna do the other side. We're nearly there, guys. I'm very proud of you for sticking through this. We're nearly there, because my base is very fast. It's very quick, believe me. Alright, so I pretty much just only realized that my file got corrupted, and all I did that was off camera from that file was apply my foundation and my concealer and blend out my contour stick, of which I used the Kenso Porn Stop Foundation and Concealer in the shade Sienna and Warm Honey, and then the Matchstick Espresso contour stick from Fenty Beauty. Also, here is a quick video when I tried to re-record this for some reason, of me applying my eyelashes and mascara, if that's of any interest. So I pretty much just blended out my contour here and all over here, and then I'm just going to go back in with my brush to just blend the line of the contour and the foundation on my forehead, so I don't have that demarcation line. Always start with the outer part, and I'm using the flat side. So I'm using the flat side of this, and I start with the outer part first. Okay, I let it dry a bit much, so because of that, I'm gonna go back in and do just one swish to wet it so that it's blendable, because I did let it dry out too much. Anyway, I'm just gonna blend that out. Yeah, it's really dry. I really let it dry out. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. We got it to work in the end. It's starting to lift off there. And you see that like it's picking up in there because I let it dry way too much. So I usually wouldn't leave it out for that long. I think it's just because of the time it took me to change my battery. But anywho, it is a buildable concealer, so it's fine. We can fix that, no problem. There we go. And then I'm going to go into, so for my inner part, instead of using the flat part, I just switch it to the plumper side, should I say. Yeah, I really let it dry too long today because it's really doing the most. I just had to apply my concealer like that because usually the time I let it dry is not that long, so it does blend it out that way. But anyways, alright, so that's that. I usually don't have to add on as much concealer as I've had to today. It's just because of the fact that I let it dry for too long. I'm just going to go back with the brush that I used before to blend my foundation out there. I'm just going to use that to blend out the concealer that went on my nose. And I use the brush as well to just kind of make it more seamless because I don't contour my nose or like the highlighted nose look. It's not for me. I'm going to go back in with the concealer that I used to do my eyebrows with when I was just sharpening them up, and I'm just going to do a line here, a line there, and then go in here and on my chin. And I usually do this because of the fact that it then just blends the concealer and the contour together. And I'm using the same side that I blended the contour with. Let's do that side. I don't mind if it like sets too long on my chin and my upper lip because then that just means more coverage for that area. But on my cheeks, no ma'am, no thank you. It's okay, we don't want that. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go in here. And then what do? Take my brush again, and I just go over everything with my brush to just make sure that everything just blends in and it's more seamless. And there's no like harsh markings on anything. Just make sure that everything is blended out. I didn't put in any more product on that brush, so I just used what was left on there. Now I'm gonna go back to my powder, and I'm gonna use the same brush I used to put on my eyebrows. I'm gonna use that same brush again. I'm just gonna dip into this, and I'm pretty much just gonna put on my under eye that much. I'm gonna go back in with my sponge, and then using the like flatter side, I'm just gonna press in that powder because I don't like to bake. Like I feel like baking just makes my under eyes look really dry. So on my forehead, yeah, that's fine. But that's literally obviously like a very small amount. Because believe me, by the time I actually finished doing everything else, the oils on my forehead would have started to like break through again anyway. So it will look matte, like oily again. It will look matte for a second, but it will be back to being oily again. And just blend the one around my nose. my chin. The next step would be highlight. I use the highlight from this palette. This is my favorite at the moment. It's Over It. It's this shade here. That one. So I just dip my brush twice and place it where I want it, right there, and then do the same for the other side. I'm going in with the Morphe M501 and I'm gonna blend it out because I really do not want it anywhere else. I don't want that very highlighted look. I mean, that was a thing before, but I just want literally that much. I'm going with my bronzer and I'm using the Hoola Toasted bronzer from Benefit. Not for me. I'm just gonna go in, bring some color back onto my face. I don't like the packaging for this because it's just shitty packaging. I don't like the packaging at all. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in here, like that much, and then I'm gonna start on my nose, and then go back in. Not that much. Like I'm taking the remainder on the mirror, and then I'll use that for the rest of my face. You can see this end here, right? If you were to put the powdered face like this, the powder comes out from this end, so you always have to put it from this side down, which is an inconvenience because usually sometimes if you're rushing, you don't really think about that. So now I'm just going to use the remaining powder in this, and I'm just going to go in my brush, and I use that to set the foundation I put on my neck and my ears. And then for setting my face, I'm just going to use the Slay All Day Setting Spray from Jara Cosmetics, and this one is in the scent Peach. And I'm just going to let the rest absorb in on its own. I'm using the Jumbo pencil from NYX, and I'm just going to overline my lips. I'm gonna go in with two lip glosses, and I'm using the shade Ginger Snap and Praline, and it's the NYX Butter Glosses. So I'm gonna use Ginger Snap on the outer because it's a lot darker. I'm gonna go in with Praline, which is a lighter one. I go that in the middle. This is pretty much the finished look, and I'm just gonna like turn my light off so you can see what it actually looks like, because right now I have like, it's too exposed because I have headlight and then I have a ring light. So I'm gonna turn off the headlight and then you can see what it looks like with just the ring light. Like this is the makeup look I do for content day when I have to take a lot of pictures, or if obviously things have opened up now, so if someone's son wants to take me on a date. This is basically my go-to makeup look. But yeah, that is pretty much it. And who would have known the mess that's actually my hair right now? Who can tell me anything? You can't tell me nothing. I'm just hoping to like get my hyperpigmentation sorted out, because obviously that's still annoying. It's an annoying factor for me. Because as much as I put foundation on there, I want to put loads to the point. Yes, I would like it to blend seamlessly, but whatever. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it. If you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Sorry, I'm gonna keep looking at myself in the mirror, but like I look cute. But anyway, bye.